Do you have too much art? Do you have junk in your space like I do all over the place? Do you have an old shoebox? I did. So today this box is going to hold my art, and I made some rubber trees and Mod Podged on some really cool stuff. And if you want to know how to do this, it's got some really cool innies too. If you want to know how to do this, stick around. It's coming right up. Alright guys, so what we're doing here is I grabbed an old shoebox from my work shoes. I have a ton of these boxes and I threw a lot of them out. I'm sorry I did now. But I'm going to go ahead and just super glue in a separator, because a lot of my stuff, I want to keep my papers, my scrap drawing papers separate from other things. And I'm using a mulberry paper here, which is kind of cool because it's fibrous. It's really nice. And if you don't have that, you can use anything you want. Paper towels, toilet paper, whatever you want to put on there. But you want to build a paper glue structure to give you more support for everything that you're doing. And so I'm going to start ripping paper and making a nice pile of ripped paper. It doesn't matter, you know, what shape it is or whatever. You just need a good pile of ripped paper. And it's going to be worth it because it's kind of fun and relaxing. And so I'm also going to be using in some Mod Podge, which I've had forever. I opened it for the first time today. And you know, if you're like me, go ahead and put on your favorite video that you don't have to really watch because you've seen it so many times, and just listen. I was doing Julia Child, and I watched her vegetable series twice while I made this today, and then I went to her meat series, which was fun. But so you want to just get lots of pieces of ripped paper and finish it off. Alright, from here we're going to glue all the pieces in. And it's going to sound a little funky because I'm trying to remove the background noise, which is Julia Child. Well, I'm telling you what we're doing. So we're just going to start gluing those papers in, and we're not going to mess too much. We're just going to get them in and get them stuck on there as best we can. So initially I was doing this with my fingers, and then I figured out that I could actually do this by just picking up a piece of paper with the glue that was on my brush. And that made that a lot easier. So I guess it's, trial and error. You have to figure out what you're doing first. So we're just going to stick that on there and get that going. And I'm going to let you listen to those warped sounds of Julia Child making vegetables in the background, because this is pretty much self-explanatory. Someday I'll figure out how to edit my videos, but until then, this is fun. But I could tell you a little bit about my job. My new job's great. It's like going to the gym when you go to work. And I put in a good 6 to 8 miles a day. And I'm paying for it now. I'm paying for all these months sitting home doing my art and not running around like I normally do, because through my knee, got an Achilles tendon thing going on. But it's okay, because I love the job. The people are great. It's like you are literally competing with for space with about 70 other people in a huge kitchen. There are 5 walk-in coolers and 1 walk-in freezer that is the length of all 5 of those coolers. It's enormous. The room where they stock their dry goods is bigger than my house in square feet. And let's see, the kitchen is ridiculous. There's like 8 tilt skillets of varying sizes and lots of workspace. I've got a beautiful workspace, and being the senior lead, I get to learn all the different stations. Now, just the 4 days I've been there, I know that the folks in the 3 layers of tables after mine are they're making sandwiches for the cafe. Now, our particular kitchen does not feed the visiting customers. They only feed the doctors and the nurses and staff and personnel like that. It's really cool. So it is a great job. It's like, again, I get to go to the gym, get paid well for it, have a great time, and learn a whole lot. So it's all right, guys. So now let's everything in here is dry, and again, I finished going around the edges. This stuff is really pretty, you know, it's really pretty. It's got like this mahogany kind of vegetable look. But I was going through the rest of my paper. Now it's time for me to cover the whole box. So I chose this paper here. It is handmade in Thailand without child labor, and it looks like it's got pieces of like all sorts of cool twigs and stuff like that. I didn't get into this one. But the one I cut up has a lot more flowers in it. Look at this one still hanging. Isn't that cool? But it's really, really pretty. It looks like homemade paper. It's kind of almost transparent in a way, but not really. So I cut down some pieces here, and 2 short ones for the sides and 2 long ones, and we're going to do the sides first, I'm guessing, because this way, yeah, something like that. Yeah, something like that. Something like that. So I'm going to go ahead and move this camera just a wee bit, get you up here, see what's going on. And again, I'm just using Mod Podge. And I've had my brush in a damp cloth so it doesn't get hard. Looks like it washed itself as well. That's kind of weird. Okay. I was hoping that my paper was big enough to go over, but that's okay because we're going to do something really cool. See, after this layer, I'm going to do some glue gun objects, and we'll go ahead and paint those and attach them. And hopefully it'll be pretty to look at, because I like pretty when I'm sitting at my desk. Weird that way. Okay. So, kind of want to put that. Gotta get that for you. Kind of want this level. Yeah, there's no getting away. Having glue on my hands at this point, but I don't care. You're done. This goes really fast, right? So let me tell you about my job. It's awesome. For anybody that's been following me, it's a great job, and I get a lot of steps every day, and a lot of steps, guys, like 6 miles plus every day. And sometimes I walk too fast out of habit, and so I got a little bit of knee owie no-nos going on right now. And I can't see this one. Yeah, my knee hurts, and I bruised my Achilles tendon. Yeah, so today is like the day of rehab. Today is my day of rehab. I had one day off this week because I only did 4 days, right? And next week I have off on Fridays and Saturdays. So I look forward to doing all sorts of stuff. We'll be able to roll this one under, which is nice. That's what I wanted to do. So this is my very first time ever working with Mod Podge, guys, and I love it. I love it. I don't know. It's nice. It's really, really nice. It's really, really nice. Alright. It's pretty quick. Dries clear. Yeah, I'm okay with that. These are my topsies. Maybe I'll put that on the bottom of these. Because these I definitely cut to go down through. I'm not the least bit worried about any kind of seams or any kind of stuff like that, guys. Because this is just a face. Wait till you see what I got in my brain for the rest of it. It's crazy. So Mod Podge, I'm sure y'all who are watching and maybe never used it before. I have never used it, but I always thought that it was a pretty good product. I just never used it. Yeah, you know. What do I know? Oh, this is a big one, so. That works really good, doesn't it? Look at that. Look how quickly we got that covered. So this one. Do a little better job leveling this time, folks. Oh, we got some glue on there. No problem. This one is not going to roll over. That's okay. So, the job. Okay, it's at a great big hospital. Huge. Huge. It's on 400 acres. Lots of doctors and nurses. I work in an area that feeds only the staff. Only the staff and patients. So, like, I'm not in an area that feeds the visitors or anything. Ah, God, that's goopy. Anything like that. So, it's funny the way they look at you on your first day, because I'm a senior lead. I have to do all the positions. I have to learn all of them. So that means I'm out there serving them food. Initially, during my training period, and they get to see your face, and trust me, they look at you like, uh-oh, you're new. You feed me every day. This better be good. Who is this person? But they are so nice. I was very, very, I mean, don't get me wrong, there are snobs. There are snob doctors and snob nurses. But for the majority of them, they are really, really nice people. And they have smiles. You know, I thought they would be stressed out kind of folk, but you know, this is what they do for a living, and they were just so nice. Sweet. Now, we do have a little bit that we can roll under, and I'm happy about that. So I'm going to cut this. Nice. And the food. Let me tell you about the food. You want to talk about your doctors and your nurses? You know what they eat? Nothing but the best. Nothing but fresh food, fresh vegetables. I mean, even the visitors, you know, in the visitor dining hall, they're getting nothing but the best food. It's just, I was so impressed by that. I mean, that is the coolest thing ever. Think about it. I mean, good, solid, fresh food, fresh meats, fresh vegetables. You know how you go to most places, like say Subway, right? You go to Subway and you say, hey, I want a turkey sandwich, and they're going to give you a turkey crust byproduct. But when you go to the hospital to eat, depending upon whoever services theirs, I'm not going to name mine, but it's an excellent company. Because I'm not hired by the hospital. I'm hired by an outside company that feeds hospital people. You're going to get fresh. They're going to take literally a fresh turkey breast, roast it, and slice it. So you're not getting processed food. Which, I mean, come on, that's freaking awesome. Now I'm buttoning down my ends here. Yeah, so this Mod Podge is awesome. I've had this jug for, I guess, a couple of months. I had my husband buy it for me. And last night when I was sleeping, I was thinking about how I can use all this wonderful paper, and then I was looking over here, and I'll show you in a minute, that my workspace needs some help. It's starting to get cluttered, and we don't want that. These vegetables are coming out. Yeah, so you want to talk about getting your steps every day. It basically starts when I park, because then I have about half a mile, quarter of a mile to a half mile to where I can get into the building. I'm learning my shortcuts though, because if it's raining really bad, I can hop into the parking garage. Now, I don't care about the bottom, all right? But this is what we got going on so far. It's a really nice cover. What I'm gonna start is working on the inside again. So, no, I like the inside. I like it a lot. But, yeah, I'm not really perfect here on my lines and stuff. Yeah. Yeah, so it's on 400 acres. There are multiple buildings, and apparently it's a teaching college as well. So you're constantly, in my position, what I do is I'm their catering executive manager. So I am basically just prepping. But every day I go in, and there are hundreds and hundreds of people to feed for either that day and the next day. But what's really cool is that you have the next day on there. So, you know, if you have to do 180 roasted chicken breasts for that day, but then you see the next day you have 90 chicken breasts, you can get them all done at once. You know, and then all that other good stuff. Oh, it's a great job. But I'm exhausted. I'm tired. I'm not kidding. I'm not gonna shortchange it. I am exhausted. Nice. Alright. So what I'm gonna do now is, you know, make sure that I have glue in all areas. I'm going to go around and then I'm going to glue the outside of it, and that's primarily to keep all my all those beautiful little plants that are all up in here, all these guys, from coming undone. And I will see you when it's dry. Ta-da, ta-da, ta. Guys, welcome back. Alright, real quick before we get into making the rubber trees and stuff for the box, I'm going to glue some twine onto here to make a handle for the middle, so it's easy for me to lift it up if I want to pull stuff. And so I'm just going to do this. Quick, I'll go up a little ways. There. Alright. Oh. You know, I should probably take it. Be prepared, be prepared. Oh, I'm gonna cut it. This is ridiculous. I can just put more on there if I need it. Yeet. Alright, so you get the gist of this, right? You're just going to go up through here with the hot glue. I'm probably going to do 2 layers, alright? So I'm going to go up through here, do 2 layers. It's going to go like this. I have, this is just a piece of spun paper, and I flatten the tips to make it easy to glue onto the box when it's done. And I'll get this done. I'm going to do 2 layers. Or 1. That glue dries really fast. Alright, I'll see you back when it's all done. We'll attach it and make our trees. Alright guys, now let's get this, again I went all the way around. And got the cord all the way around this piece of, this is just rolled newspaper, hard as rock. Kind of flattened it out and bent it and put some twine on there. I'm going to go ahead and glue this one side on the inside, one side on the outside, or whichever is any outie, I don't know. But so this one I'm going to put glue on, and this one I'm going to glue. Threads of glue all over. All over. Alright. I don't know if that is even centered. It is now. Ow, hot. Alright. So, there's our lid. Don't wear it out. Ouch. Oh, goodness. Alright. Alright, now that that's on there, oh, that's kind of cool. Did you see how cool those? In Taiwan, they made this paper in Taiwan. It is really, really cool. And same with the paper on the inside. That was made in Taiwan too. And that has all natural fibers in it. And it's really some cool stuff. I'll look it up and then leave a link in the descriptions. I still have a little bit of wet glue in there. but it'll all dry clear once it does. And so is that in the corner. It's still a little wet, but the outside's dry, so that's all that matters. And right now, let's make our trees. Well, I did wash off my board, but I see I have some cat hair, so. All right. So I'm using a silicone-based sheet, and what's really cool about this is after I get done making the trees, I can just peel them off and then super glue them to whatever I want, or any way possible. I'll get you situated here so you can see. All right. Actually, give me 30 seconds. I'm back. I have cats, you know, sometimes I hear things going on in other rooms and I gotta see what the heck is going on. All right. So I'm gonna go ahead and see what the width of my box is. So if I start at the 6-inch mark, I want to be done before I hit the top here, which, okay, that makes sense. But that gives me a little bit of a guide. So I can play anywhere between here and say the top of this and as wide as I want. So, yeah. All right. Uh-oh. Good day. I like them gnarly. Uh-oh. Well, that's okay, as long as I don't go up here. I can go out as far as I want, because this is a side. On the side. I'm going to let that cool a little bit. While that's cooling, I'm going to go ahead and make some for the front. And using the same base pretty much right in here as what I need to do. We'll do a gnarl. Glue stick. Oh. Now I'm working with some pretty big ones. Okay. Oh, don't go too high. Okay, that's good. I like that one. I want it to cool a little bit so I can put some definition in it. Let's do, making sure we're on the same thing, and then Harry. How we doing? Oh, it's sticky. Alright, I like them when they're sticky. I can put texture on it. That one's just right, so get a spongy stick. I'm going to get a little sticky here. Just kind of so when your glue is drying, you have an opportunity to mess with it. You can add texture. I forgot his roots. Little holes in there. Only where it's sticky. Yeah. Nice. We just added some nice texture, and I will see you back in a few when they're dry, and we'll paint them. Alright guys, our trees are dry, and now we need to paint them. So, because it's a silicone mat, all I have to do is lift them up. It's really cool, see? It's got my twig. Pick these little thingies off gently. Alright. Alright. So we're going to flip them over because we're going to paint the back first. All this over here. Now sometimes these little glue hairs are kind of cool to have, you know, but other times not so much. And our little gnarly guy. And kind of, I'll show you in a second what we're going to do here. What I'm going to do. But because you're with me, we're going to do it together. Alright. So, I love making trees out of glue. And I paint the backs first. And then I paint the front. And this has differing hues and can be applied to anything. Unfortunately, it's too big for my box, so it goes for something else. Alright. I use Touch New pens. I have several colors. I've got chocolate, burnt sienna, raw umber, which I'm going to use last. Mahogany, walnut, and yellow orange. So I'm going to use the yellow orange and the burnt sienna first, or the raw umber. Oh. And I need one more thing. Keep this over here. That one looks severely used with green, so that'll be alright. Oh. What's really cool about these is they dry really quickly, and then you can go back over it and make an even stronger color. So where you want it darker, you can make it darker. Now if I was doing this straight on a canvas, I wouldn't be able to paint the back, and that was really frustrating because it's hard. It's very difficult to get that color on your glue. So I'm just going to do this one tree with you, and then I'll pause the video again and do all the rest of them and get them done. Show you how I put them on there. Alright. Put a little bit more in certain areas. Okay. Now I'm going to go with the mahogany. Not much of a color change, but we're layering here. And I'll start going with the shape. Kind of cool. Alright, let's see what we got. Ta-da! We have a base. Now we can go with some darker colors. Chocolate. It's a chocolate tree. Yes, it is. Try to get in the crevices with this color. Rough spots. Kind of nice. I'm going to drop in a little walnut. Pick it up, you can see where the areas are that need color. All right. Last but not least, some straight up pinata forest green. I'm going to put it in with this yellow here. That went fast. I'll give you a close-up of this here in a second. We just want a little hint of green. Alright, that's good. Alright, so let's put this down here. Alright. That looks really nice. Alright, show you what we got, and then I'm going to go ahead and finish the rest of these trees. And get you see where you can see it. If I go up here, it'll focus. I gotta get, like, I don't know, some weird place in the camera. There we go. Alright, so I'm going to go finish these trees and be right back. We'll glue them on. Alright, the trees are done. The last thing we have to do now is attach them to the homemade box. Okay, I want to show you what I did with the trees. I did the painting with the markers exactly as we had done with the very first tree. And then when I was all done, I took a Sharpie terracotta color, sprayed it, and then I took the pinata white and I sprayed it very well. I mean, they were pure white, and as it absorbs, because you know how the Jacquard works, I got this beautiful colors, marbleization, some beautiful, gorgeous marbling on these trees. Now, another thing that you can do is you can utilize these for a negative tree. So you can make anything you want on your silicone mat with rubber glue, and you can create silhouettes or templates or whatever it is, so that when you're doing your alcohol ink and you're doing your spraying, you could build a forest. See how that works? See how cool it is? Alright, so that's just a scrap piece of towel, but it looks pretty. Alright, so I mean, there's really nothing you can't do with rubber glue. Alright, so let's get them on the box. And because this is silicone mat, this stuff just wipes clean with some alcohol. Alright, so here's the box. All done. All done. Looks really good. I'm thinking I want this guy in the front. Oh, we did well with our measuring. Look at that. Woo! Alright. Oh, goodness. I don't know. We lucked out on that one. So, oh, that is so cool. You are right in there. Look at you. Alright, so I'm just going to put the glue on the back. And not too much. talk when you're doing this. It's tricky. Alright. Then we're going to place it on. And any places that we need to correct, we can do that. Get out there. And we'll lay them out. We want them. Looks really good. Alright. Let's see. This one I'm thinking I'm going to make too tall. No, look at that. I'll glue it. I'll do that right here so you can see. So I have a new phrase. It's called "did it myself" because I don't know. I always get that do-it-yourself thing mixed up because I'm not really teaching anything. I'm just showing you what I did myself for my show, my junk. Yeah. Oh, we're not going to touch that one. Our branch broke. Our branch broke. Oh my gosh. That's pretty cool. Alright. Smash. Boop. Just a little one. Nobody's going to see it. It's going to be like facing the whole other direction. Oh, I see where this one needs a little love. Glue love. Don't want to get them too hot, they'll melt. Remember that. They're glue to begin with. Okay. Ooh. I think I'm going to do this. Get it on there and then do the branches. The little ones, because this is too much. It's hot. I love the colors in there. I don't know if y'all can see it. They're really nice. Okay, so this is my art box. And what's this box going to do? Everything you see over there. All this stuff right here is going to be organized right here. I think. All right, so really love that. I don't know if you guys can see that. I really want you to see those colors. Freaking amazing. Awesome. All right, guys, that's it for the box. I will see you soon. I go to work tomorrow. Have a wonderful week. Ciao bella.